Always be learning, whether you're a freelancer or not. I'm Bruce Rule. I'm a writer and editor, and I recently published a book called Heartfelt Goodbye, How to Write and Deliver the Eulogy Your Loved One Deserves. And I've been posting these little brief videos on how to do better in your freelance life. But the fact of the matter is, today I'm talking about something that should apply to you regardless whether you're a freelancer or you work full-time or you do something else. It doesn't really matter. It has to do with how you approach life. And I want to start out by telling you a little story about when I was, maybe 10, 15 years ago. My son was about 12 years old. And he said to me, Dad, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. He said, on your bedstand table, I notice you always have a book about writing or about business. Why? And I said, well, I'm a business editor. At the time, I was a business editor for Bloomberg News, and I feel like I have to continue to learn. And he said, well, but why? You're already successful. I said, yes, that's true, but you can always get better. And you can always look at ideas differently the more you learn. So learning is a lifelong experience for you, or it should be. And that's what I told him. I don't know if he even remembers the conversation, to be honest with you, but I really do believe that. And I thought about that conversation recently because I just finished a book called Skills That Build. It's by an executive coach that I met down here in where I live. And I thought, I'll pick it up. She talks about some of the same things that I teach in my workshops and whatever. And part of the book deals with effective communication, how to be a better speaker, how to be a better listener, which is something that we could all be. And some of the concepts are the same as what I already teach. But here's the thing. She approaches them differently. And she uses different examples and different ways of approaching the same thing. For instance, when I was in the newsroom, the big thing was, don't bring me a problem, bring me a solution. You don't like this sentence? Bring me an alternative sentence. That was always sort of the big thing that I would tell the reporters. Well, she talks about it in more of a passive versus assertive way of dealing with it. In other words, in her telling of it, she would say, instead of saying, this sentence doesn't work, which is a passive way of saying it, you could say, I'm requesting you change this sentence to this, which is much more assertive and more positive. It's just a different way of doing it. And you go, okay, it's the same result. But somebody might not appreciate what I'm talking about when I say, don't bring me a problem, bring me a solution. But somebody might understand if I say, instead of being passive about it, be assertive, bring it this way. Well, they might respond to that. People respond differently to different things. So that's why it's important for me to keep reading and learning, even if it's the same concepts, because it's a different way of delivering those concepts. And I really do believe, whether you're a freelancer or you work in an office or you work in a trade or you don't work, but you have to deal with people, because we all do, it's important for you to keep learning, even if you think you've mastered your subject, because there's always somebody out there that has a different take on how you could be doing something, a different way of how you could be doing something, maybe perhaps a more efficient or more effective way of how to do something. So always be learning. What do you think? Do you still learn? Do you still read books about your subject, or do you just sort of go, you know what, I know enough. I don't need to really learn more about it. I'd be curious to see what you think. Please comment down below and like and share this video because I do think it's important. I'm going to put the information to this book down below if anybody is interested in buying it. I recommend it. I think it's worthwhile. I especially recommend the communication segments. I'm not as familiar with various ways of doing time management, but her time management section seems to be pretty good. But it's definitely a worthwhile book, and I would recommend it highly. And please subscribe to this channel. I think it's worthwhile, and I think it's a good thing to be sharing this kind of knowledge. And until next week, take care.